did retain it. One of them saying they developed what?
The NFL wasn't ready for this one. Tom Brady, yes, the football home of perfection, just turned into the league's unofficial accountability officer and pointed his laser focus straight at Cleveland. The same Cleveland that somehow manages to make headlines even when they're trying to stay quiet. This time, it wasn't about a rebuild, or a quarterback carousel.
In my second year, it's training camp. Every quarterback coach named Dick Ray, God rest his soul, unfortunately he passed away in training camp. And he's here at the time. And it was a very difficult loss for our team. And the way that we found a way to continue the season is Bill Belichick became coach than we ever imagined. Being a defensive, he was obviously head coach, very well in defensive games.
Nope, it was about something juicier. Brady accused them of sabotaging Shedeur Sanders, and the league collectively choked on its Gatorade. Now you think Tom Brady, the man who could lecture a tree on discipline, would be off in retirement, sipping kale smoothies and pretending to enjoy golf. But apparently not even retirement could silence a man who sees nonsense from a mile away. And what he saw in Cleveland wasn't just incompetence, it was a full-blown organizational circus dressed up as a football coach. According to Brady, the NFL has this weird standard. Players get judged like contestants on reality shows every single day. Every throw, every step, every misread, scrutinized like it's national security. But the coaches, oh, those guys get treated like untouchable wizards. They can run an offense straight into a ditch, and somehow they're still labeled visionary. Brady wasn't having it. He basically said whatever was been too scared to admit. Some of these coaches wouldn't know player development and slapped them with a laminated plate. And that's what the rules stand. This kid has been dissected more than a thousand for loss on the coaches, gate off, no heat. These are making his transition into the NFL with less like an opportunity and more like a carefully coordinated setup. Imagine being thrown into a new system where your coaches treat development like a bit, and then
caravan has reached the gatehouse.
It's like being asked to bake a cake with no flour and then getting yelled at for serving it. That's Shedeur's reality right now, and Brady wasn't going to let it slide. Cleveland's coaching staff has been walking around like none of this is their fault. They avowed, they grade, they critique, but when you ask who actually it's crickets. Not one coach willing to admit they actually invested time in the kids.
Nigga, down.
Cannot take me.
Is handing a player a helmet and good luck wishes. Then when it all goes wrong, they shrug and say, see, he's not ready to break himself right through that. He knows talent from the league, and he also keeps the same man who turned on terrible receivers into legends in his spot and coaching staff who sleepwalking through their responsibility. To him, he's a that they make him ready, and that's where things start to get hilariously awesome. Especially when you're keeping the Browns fight competition, evaluation, and development. But those words ring hollow when you're supposed developmental plan looks more like organized neglect. It's funny though, coaches always love to
We've
use
nearly
accountability
taken the
until it's time
gatehouse.
for them to be held accountable. He basically compared NFL coaching culture to a corporate office where the interns get fired for typos while the managers get promoted for chaos. And should happen to be related to Patrick.
Good. The gatehouse now belongs to the base of order.
You have personal coaching.
Quickly,
7-on-7
escort the
teams.
caravan forward.
I mean, guys like you and Drew Bledsoe and Troy Aikman told me, like, why would you have, like, 8 high school games? Like, I had 40 starts including high school. Now, it's when I'm 16 years old. So I know some sports commentary.
Yeah, sir, that nigga ass up. I'm playing with him.
Yes or no? And I don't care.
The truth is, Cleveland's coaching inconsistency has been an open secret for years. One guy says there's development. Another says we're
coming for that.
Meeting has a different agenda.
So
And none
you
of
over
them
there
all
doing on my
actually
man.
improving the player. Brady's point hit hard because everyone watching knows it's true. And just when you thought this story couldn't get messier, enter Stephen A. Smith, the man who turns outrage into performance art. The moment Brady's comments dropped, Stephen A. didn't get he detonated. He's been warning everyone for months that situation smells like sabotage. That's not opportunity, that's entrapment. It's like tossing someone the car keys or a tornado and saying, show us what you can do. You can't build rhythm, timing, or leadership when the only people you're practicing with are fighting for practice squad spots themselves.
That makes that call. Why? Because I want the black to stay back to the I mean, I give you a chance to be themselves. Because I say, okay, we can't have to do something. Right now, do something wrong. You don't want that. And then we check.
Like niggas that they got rank. I like niggas that look like they got rank, Gango. Fuck that. We'll see. Shot, nigga. Oh! Winky. I like niggas that look like they got rank out there, bitch. Look. Yeah. I like niggas that look like they got rank, nigga. I come get you. Heelys.
I spent money on like good common stuff. Used to be ice.
American. We gonna trade now. That's all fine.
Right. I just stuff you can see You know what I don't spend money on?
Nigga! It's me! What the y'all niggas talking about? Come here. Want your head, Cap. Want your head, Holmes. Want your head, Holmes. Come here. Yo, want your head. Yeah. Wait. Ah! I was pushing died. On my Keely. Come here. Let's dance.
Very bad. Our caravan has reached the barricade.
Pushing the fuck out the convoy. Get in there.
Masons, burn those barricades. This is not good. Yes. I can't.
And to make things even spicier, Lewis Riddick stepped in. You know when Riddick joins a conversation, things are about to go analytical and uncomfortable. He didn't sugarcoat anything either. He agreed Stewart had potential, but he ripped into the crowd so small and flesh. According to Riddick, the threats weren't there, destruction wasn't there, and the intent wasn't there. In other words, the whole thing was fun. He said the fans were thinking, this wasn't development, it was play. Riddick even took it a step further. He pointed out that others...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Getting like that.
In a place that felt more like a puzzle. It's impossible to perform when you're the only one who's ready to full risk of the event. Every facet of the high-stakes audition, not one person. The silence said it all. If no one in leadership actually advocated for him, that means
I need a nigga that look like he got rank in this bitch.
Fighting
Nigga.
and no one would come to that. That's where career disaster. And then carry on.
Ah! Nigga look nigga that like he got rank. Nigga. Out here. My fault. Oh, that's fucked up.
Jimmy Haslam, the Browns owner, casually admitted he had no
Your
clue about
thanks is
the signing.
unnecessary.
He basically
All I
said
require
that
is my
decision
name and
entirely
song.
on the coaching staff.
For
Now,
the
how does
red
it
and
not go
black!
about the quarterback being brought in? That's not
Behold
it.
power
That's
incarnate!
Brady's comments
Keep it
suddenly
up!
made
We've
a lot
nearly
of sense.
destroyed the
How the players
barricades!
thrive when the people running the show don't even know who's running the show.
Burn this shit to the ground.
Saying, oh, we adopted a kid. Cool. Oh, he's doing well. That's not how you build an NFL franchise. That's how you build chaos. And if you think Stephen A. was needed before, he said whatever he liked with him. I didn't know. It wasn't an accident. It was strategy. The perfect way to distance yourself from accountability while pretending you got it right. And just like that, another young quarterback story gets rewritten where it begins. Brady reloaded suddenly looked less like a dream and more like a revelation. He wasn't defending Chilvary. He was defending every young quarterback.
Hey, school me.
Like this.
Y'all niggas ain't pick me up.
Well fought! We have destroyed the barricades! Destroy that gate for the order!
Shot Holmes.
While never putting that out, he should try. Goddard perfectly stands how broken that formula really is.
Shot.
Brady himself was once in Chilvary shoes. Underestimated. The difference is, he had a coach who knows despite his work, actually believes in developing players. Brady has maybe the world never knows. That's exactly why his words sting so much.
Rolled him.
That development matters. And he knows the players culture of the player gets ready for him. Qualified coaches dictate.
Oh, we put niggas the fuck down. Y'all niggas be tripping though. Ah. Where the fuck is you going? Bitch ass nigga. Hey, where you going? What you saying? What the fuck is that?
Sounds like you're more, what he said, but basically they're more positive about you more than not. And I was like, well, I think some of my positivity is I look at him skill set wise. I think he has what it takes to be anywhere from the 13th best starting quarterback in the NFL.
And you don't without anyone as if every depth chart,
Greased him
every then radio
with the sidearm.
their strategy looks less like management, more like recovery. It's almost poetic. Brady.
Y'all not begging my man.
He'd like to retire to
Man, get my
real life.
it work, you nigga.
20 years ago. Except this time, the stakes are millions of dollars in one young quarterback career. And let's not pretend he's just some random prospect. The kid's got pedigree, talent, and swag. He's not just playing the game. The Browns coaching staff will probably survive. They'll have press conferences, talk about adjustments, throw around curves like pros, and learning curves. Accountability, if you're going to judge players like professionals, then hold coaches to the same standard. Coaches train them for showing up to work for 2 years. Judge them on the floor about how well they actually prepared their players. Because at the end of the day, quarterback success is as much about environment as it is about skills. So this is about and fans, even former players, all of this how is it that players can lose their jobs over one bad game, but coaches can do it multiple careers and still get extended?
Yeah.
The imbalance of the
Inky! Oh, what the fuck?
it's not just jobs.
Aw. Nah, that shit count. I didn't want to look at it.
You can have all the talent in the world, but if your staff doesn't believe in you, you're doing it before you even take a snap.
Now he's got to put in the work. He's got to adapt to the NFL. He's got to adapt to not
Oh,
being
God.
coached by his dad. But physically, we're talking about physical talent. The concerns I have about Dylan Gabriel aren't there for sure. Now, I would not have taken him with a number 2 pick under any circumstances. I might have thought about it 33 or 35. I definitely would have thought about it at 92 over Dylan Gabriel.
2 takedowns, 2 kills.
I don't feel the whole in either of these quarterbacks. Like, we should treat them like scratch-off lottery tickets to improve other things. Like, I want to discourse.
Suffer.
Which was, now, Lenny's likes pantomiming. Certainly, one of the things saying that he feels like he's better than a lot of starting quarterback stuff you see around the NFL, and that he's confident he'll be ready to go with his numbers.
And honestly, if Brady hadn't said something, this story might have just disappeared into the box.
No.
Every round, every coach, every team, they're officially on fire. Because when the GOAT calls you out, you don't just brush it off. It's funny how poetic this whole thing is. It's about a league that still hasn't learned how to protect its future. A system where politics outweigh progress, where loyalty trumps logic. Maybe it's time the NFL stops pretending it's just about competition. Maybe it's time to admit that sometimes the real game isn't played on the field. It's played behind closed doors, where careers get decided long before the curtain is closed. And until that game changes, Tom Brady across every locker room. If coaches can't build their players, maybe it's time to start rebuilding the coaches.
Everyone, focus on smashing the gate!
Everyone slicing the sticks from $6.99. They're Call of Duty buying off 7 boards. It's like the basic Call of Duty game boards. The ability meets pizza. The guy who is specifically for yet another perfect prediction. But they don't buy it. Congrats to anyone in our own leagues who took my advice Friday. What is the difference? I explained it.
Oh, dummy.
16-1 on Friday. I told you that. Nope.
Masons, we've destroyed the gate! Kill the traitor is Duke! For Ulrich!
You get it. Rose on fire. Marcus is on fire. What's on walk? All 3 of his partners. I was my husband. That's what you got to do. That was about for my birthday. Yeah, shit out of that. Yeah, cowboy. That's true. She said she bought me a cowboy. I think she thinks I wear it on the show. She doesn't like stuff. You work it. I think she thinks I'm what? Well,
It's all the winning Patriots. Yeah, used to. What did the Bills prove in a pretty dominating victory? More dominating than the scores. Yes. No, actually, it was a miracle that the Chiefs were within a touchdown game. Like, the only real downside of that game for Buffalo was Sean McDermott kicking that field goal in, which gave the Chiefs a slight chance and makes you really nervous about this game management come January. What did the Bills do? They once again proved and confirmed that they are the Chiefs' biggest and, in my opinion, only AFC threat. And they have been, ever since the Bengals decided to stop fielding the defense, they have been the only, for me, real threat to the Chiefs in the AFC. And Josh was sensational. You said he set a Bills franchise record in the same game that and unlike the playoffs, in the right won. Josh is outplayed. They scored 91 points in and the numbers are 8 touchdowns and 9 turnovers and a 30-point back in passing. And so fair is fair. Because I had everybody know before Danny came on the show, I should have built it because you guys know I did. So Josh
Duke is badly injured. Finish him!
When it matters the most. We all know. It's such a shame that the Bills' young
The Agathian Duke has been slain!
Because you or Josh has a good standard.
Touch them, nigga.
These other guys were a little too impacted. Because full picture, what was on moves they did in the off season, unbelievable. And the end of the game, he gave the Chiefs a little kick behind the horns. One of the coaches heard that film stuff. So I played versus the Chargers, where he spit it out there pretty quick. So being able to know he's potentially going to throw that ball, just chasing the motion, being able to anticipate the ball might go. You might think that's like, what is this? From Harrison to Williams, who was a little bit finding that this guy's in your room. Finding the difference in his confidence and his effort when it's a run. So just applying right someone from the film room and taking it out of the field. There are tells just about finding it. And that's finding a way to time John go on TV, who got the Harrison goal. But those are the types of quotes you do after you climb the mountain when you've won your Super Bowl. Like, this is how we did it. So shout out to the Bills. That's 5 straight. They are the first and only team ever to lose 4 straight Super Bowls. They are now the first team ever to win 5
Any
straight.
news, sire?
Listen, they gave us a little bit of blueprint. Josh kicked
Pleasant day to you.
The Bills was a miracle the Chiefs were only down 7. I was wrong. I lost a lot of money in the game. I thought the Chiefs with a vanilla game plan to be able to win. I was wrong, and so that's and credit to everyone where it's due. And thank you for the self-scout. Bill seconded. We appreciate that. And we might use that in January. You got no, the 13 wins, 12 wins, MVP, no threat. Correct.
All right, use that as fire. That's just a little something.
But like, out there now,
if they don't win, they're a good team, good playoff team, no chance to get to the Super Bowl. They've proven to me that they are a legit Super Bowl contender. And I get it. Had they lost, everybody else, felt like, oh, they're still a contender. But I would not agree to giving them a chance to get to the Super Bowl. I'm giving them that chance now. And I do feel, and I get it, Nick, obviously, they win in the regular season, they lose in the playoffs. They beat them by 18 a few years ago in the regular season. So this wasn't even the biggest win.
Hey
but
there.
I think they could beat the Chiefs. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying they could beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Like, they the Chiefs were banged up on the offensive line. We're good for players and stuff. But I think it's interesting to me mean, I feel like the Bills have gotten a little better on the offensive line. Offensive line last year, this year it's like great. Run game really good last year. This year is great. It's the best in the league. And I feel like the Chiefs' defense, while still very good, have gotten a little bit worse against the run. So maybe that, I mean, they're obviously closely matched teams. So I think that them being able to run so well, obviously with James Cook, but of course Josh Allen is always a threat. I think that can give the Chiefs some problems. It clearly did yesterday. Cook was the first 100-yard rusher in about a year against the Chiefs. And then defensively, I was shocked defensively.
That's why I got the game, definitely. If I knew the Chiefs would be able to
What's going on?
the ball at will, and they
Hurry on!
Greetings.
Let's go! To battle!
To the Carolina game for Buffalo last week, but I mean the pressure, they got Mahomes pressured on like 52% of his dropbacks. He didn't play well against the pressure. Obviously, they shut down the run game. The Chiefs don't have
Like a man off, nigga.
And look, can they get that type of pressure on Mahomes in the playoffs when the offensive line is healthy? If they can get close to that, like 40%, 35%, something like that, then maybe that could make a difference. I thought they did a good job. You probably saw, you guys, there was stuff going on on Twitter. Bosa, Joey Bosa didn't rush Mahomes and implying stuff was free. When they were playing, if you guys didn't see that, there was
the 4th and 17.
Yeah.
It got fooled.
But Bosa was thinking stuff again, screen and stuff like. I thought they did a good job of that was an obvious example of them making sure they stayed in their lanes. The pass integrity. Yeah, lane integrity. Because Mahomes obviously is great at scrambling.
Yeah.
And so I think they kind of took that away from him to some degree.
The Bills,
and that was smart.
listen, the Super Bowl against Tampa, they got, you go, Miles.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It obviously wasn't a playoff game, but the times that we have seen Mahomes falter in the playoffs, that is the recipe.
Right.
Whether it's Tampa, Philadelphia, he got hurried or hit 15 times. He was getting hit out of bounds. Not late, but it was just, hey, we're around at all times. That's the only way.
Hurry on!
In the pocket, like we're going to play it straight up.
And listen, so the point of that and then the shots. Super Bowl against Tampa, he was pressured 52% of the time. They got blown out. Super Bowl against Philly.
Let's go!
He was pressured 53% of the time. They got blown out. Yesterday, he was pressured 52.6% of the time. And yes, Mahomes did take some shots. He also, and I'm the biggest Patrick Mahomes guy, TV. The histrionic and the acting and the faking like he got hit in the head. I mean, run the tape, Dustin. I mean, it's embarrassing for an MVP. To have somebody his hand graze his helmet, and I mean, it just can't go up. I was so disoriented watching the game. I thought that was Patrick.
It's just one out.
My bad. I mean, let's just see it.
I've seen all-time great.
Oh my God.
Do similar.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, look at this. Oh my God.
This is.
I mean, concussion protocol, I suppose. I mean, my goodness gracious. But listen, credit where it's due. They played a great game. They deserve to win. And for Bills fans out there that want to see me in pain, while I put on a brave face, I lost an enormous amount of money. My friend Nacho's a big Bills fan. I mentioned him a lot on the show. He's also a bigger gambler than me. So
To battle!
Gambling, of course. Yeah, I went up in weight class a bit. Oh, top one. Got to pay him in crypto too. Sucks.
I will say quickly, if I may, when they were up, what was their biggest lead? 28?
15.
20. I felt like they could actually blow them out. They were
on the cusp.
Real good for the Bills. Had they, been able to
close it out like that.
Yep. Yeah, but it ended up being fairly close.
Bills in Miami on Sunday. As for the other side of the ball, the Chiefs join the Panthers as the only 5 seed in the
You
league.
love that. You love it.
If I'm for,
We've been ripping them.
you know what question I wanted to ask if I was in a bad mood? It's going to be Chiefs Panthers. Which team is not really 5? Mahomes. First time he's ever completed less than half of his passes. Okay, here's the AFC playoff picture as it stands today. Greg's Colts, number 1. In the hunt, the Chiefs currently on the outside looking in. Really, both you guys do. Though.
Yeah.
W is number 2. Are you starting to worry about KC, even though you're not a big worrier?
Absolutely not whatsoever. And I was very cautious and intentional in not mentioning any of the injuries and giving the Bills credit for what they did. But I think now it's instructive to one of the reasons I'm not worried. So they were, by basically the second half of that game, without 3 of their starting 5 offensive linemen and their starting running back. All of those guys, every single one of those guys, is expected to be back after the bye. Josh Simmons actually got back in the facility today. He wasn't hurt. He had the family issue, kind of a mysterious personal matter, but he's back now. So I think that initially absolutely helps. That playoff picture helps a lot as well in that there's nobody really behind them that can jump them. Now, I'm not saying Baltimore can't get in, but Baltimore, who's behind them, would get in as the division winner. And so they need to catch Jacksonville, who I believe in, but other people don't, or 2 teams they played 3 times, the Chargers and the Broncos. And I'll be the last man on that. I don't believe in the Broncos ship, but I'm going to stay on that ship in this weekend, and then even that statement supposed to change my opinion on that. Getting 2 against Denver makes me feel like sitting here today, they're going to win the division. That they're not going to sneak into the playoffs. They're going to run Denver down. And I think this quarterback space versus quarterbacks coming up is part of the reason for my optimism. They're 5-4. I would right now expect them to finish 12-5. And so they have faced the who's who of the NFL quarterbacks so far, aside from Stafford. And now what they have left is the Dak, who is excellent, the defense is awful. Justin Herbert, who when they face him, will be without evidently the most important player on the team. Sorry,
That's in Kansas City, that game.
that game is in, yes, that's in Kansas City. And then again, I think CJ's a good player. I think the Texans have a good offense, and so that gives me even more confidence that they got. Listen, we knew the first 9 games for Kansas City leading into the bye were the brutal part of their schedule. The hope was to go 7-2. The expectation was they'd go 6-3. They finished 1 game below, what the Vegas expectation was. So no, I'm not worried about the Chiefs missing the playoffs, and I don't think they have to have home field, particularly when it looks like home field goes to either the Colts or a second-year quarterback. And I think Patriots are really good, but just guys, second-year quarterback in Knicks or Drake May for that matter. And so no, I'm not worried.
One more the slices and sticks from $6.99. They had Call of Duty $7.
Real Iraq.
Nobody gave like deal here.
Get slices and sticks and Call of Duty in-game rewards. Little Caesars is the real deal. Pizza.
It's not panic time by any stretch. But it's time for a little trepidation. I think just because, Nick, the room for error is sliding away.
Yes.
Right? Like, they are 1-4 against teams with winning records. So they look great at times, but when you get down to it, they're 1-4 against teams with winning records.
I think they're 2-4 though. And the Ravens with Lamar is a team.
I believe in the Ravens, but even 2-4, that's not great. Okay? And so, before against like teams with winning records. Now you got Denver twice. My guess, because I'm assuming the Chiefs will probably have to play both of those games tough. I think one is week 17 maybe. But I think they'll split with it. I think they'll split with Denver.
Well, then they won't win the division.
Yeah,
I sweep Denver to win the division.
I agree with you that I think they'll get in the playoffs, and I don't think they need all to win the division to get to the Super Bowl. But I think they'll probably split with them. I think they'll probably end up splitting with the Chargers. I don't see the Chargers sweeping them this season. Indy, after what we saw yesterday, you would think they'll win that game. But hey, we'll see. So I just think that's, like I said, if you look at their schedule, it's not as tough as it has been. But the room for error is slipping away. And you're right, Jacksonville, you're going to get one team from AFC North most likely.
Yeah.
Jacksonville could be because you're getting 2 from Denver.
It's Denver, Chargers, Chiefs, Jacksonville.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 are going to win, and one of them is going to be left without a seat.
Can I address the elephant in the room?
I don't know what it is. You think it's the Patriots? I don't. Okay, go ahead.
Patriots.
Yeah, go ahead.
tackle that turned the tide. Rough day for the tackle.
I thought you might get that. So here's the thing. Obviously, it's not gone. But as powerful of a force as the tackle that turned the tide is, there is a force obviously, and that force is the all. I don't even know. Why set me up for this? Why set no T7 got killed like Alabama was. Why was without knowing because I didn't know how I was going to get into it, and you're such a great teammate. Because there is, of course, more powerful, and that is tackle that turned the tide, and that is destiny.
It is true.
And it is the ultimate destiny of this NFL season that, and had the Chiefs won against Buffalo, it wouldn't have been possible for this to happen realistically. That the final game that is ever played in Highmark Stadium is a Chiefs-Bills playoff game, potentially with the Super Bowl appearance on the line. And at the final moments of that forsaken stadium is the Chiefs once again beating Buffalo to steal from the city of Buffalo the only thing other than wings that they really have to their name, which is the 4 consecutive Super Bowl appearances. And had the Chiefs won, there wouldn't be a Chiefs playoff game in Buffalo, and now there can be. And so I will, again, even the tackle that turned the tide can't stop Chiefs-Bills' ultimate destiny, which is one final playoff game in Buffalo to close that stadium out.
A little bit close to my turf there.
What do you mean?
I'm bowling that along a little bit.
How?
I'm kind of the doorstep of destiny guy.
My apologies.
Just a little bit. It's time for our daily update of the Athletics playoff predictor.
Okay, thanks.
My favorite. 73% chance to make the playoffs, the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Athletics playoff predictor,
I love it.
you give
Behold my girth.
to it than I do. Because the Vegas playoff predictor today has the Chiefs as the second most likely to win the Super Bowl.
That's gambling.
Well, yeah, I like that. No disrespect to Mike Silver and Robert Mays, but also
the Athletics. That's fun. Headed to the world of baseball. Dodgers celebrating at their parade today after one of the most thrilling World Series victories ever. Yamamoto wins MVP after notching 2 wins and the save in Game 7. Proved it was an epic World Series, so it's a tough question to answer, but we'll try. What was your number one takeaway?
It is tough because it was phenomenal. And I love playoff baseball, but this was just incredible. You couldn't, and throughout that game, because it was mostly a 1-score game. At times it was 2. But I was just saying to my wife, I was like, this is as close as you can be. They're going 7. There's 1 run separating them, and then they get the extra innings. It was just incredible. But to me, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, that's what stands out to me. I mean, he was fantastic to not only win Game 6 with your back against the wall, but then to go in and win Game 7.
I am here.
The 11th inning, when Vlad starts off with a double,
Yeah.
and then they get men on first and third with 1 out, and he hit a batter too.
Yep.
Everything could have been working against him. He threw 96 pitches, I think, in Game 6. And here's the deal. His ERA this World Series against that great hitting team, and I talked last week about how the Blue Jays had the best batting average in the regular season, best in the playoffs, best in the World Series, obviously. But his ERA was 1.02
Drink me in
17 innings. Blake Snell, a great pitcher in his own right. His ERA against the Blue Jays, 6.9.
Yep.
Shohei, a great pitcher in his own right. ERA 7.5. Glasnow is okay, 3.3, but as a team, they started 4.8 without Yamamoto. And so for him to have a 1.02 ERA against that team, and it just took me back to, this is rare, obviously. I think the second or the first player pitcher since Randy Johnson. So with 3 games in the
And Baumgartner in 14 had a similar performance, but on back-to-back days. where he won game 1, game 5 innings saved, game 7. That was, I can say this, against my Royals, who were not quite the potent offense Toronto. You know what I mean?
They had guys that were a little like so his pitching was just lights out.
And what was the biggest reason I picked the Blue Jays? Because what was the weakness of the weakness of the Dodgers was the bullpen. And then in game 7, they're like, how about we use 4 pitchers and they're all starters? How about we don't go to the bullpen and inoculate ourselves from that? So listen, Yamamoto was unbelievable. I'll never get over not betting on him to win MVP after a ton of people do it, but so be it. What people will never really get over, and this is to me my biggest takeaway, is Blue Jays fans. In that, I do not think there has ever been a team that close, that many different times to winning the World Series and not winning. I said that on Twitter over the weekend, and people responded, you're forgetting about the Rangers, who were 1 strike away multiple times in 2011. Trust me, as a Royals fan who fades the Cardinals, I'm not forgetting about that. I believe that was a singular moment. It's like, oh my God, we won the World Series.